Hey guys, how's it going? Coach Igor here with Project Run Strong. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about how to train by heart rate. When it comes to training, use your heart rate as a guide. There's a few things you need to keep in mind. One, you're going to need a heart rate monitor, a chest strap heart rate monitor, or a armband heart rate monitor. We do not recommend using the ones from your watches because it is imprecise. There are many studies out there showing that as intensity increases, the accuracy decreases. So if we want real data, we want to make sure that we are getting as precise as we can. Second, heart rate training is better for low intensity days. Zone 1 training, Zone 2 training, and sometimes Zone 3 training, depending on the workout. What we want to do, we want to use the data come from our heart rate monitor that's in our watch to make sure we are not going above the training zones that we're supposed to stay in that given session. Keep it in mind that your heart muscles have a delayed response to the physical activity. It takes a couple minutes for your heart to respond to the intensity you're training on. That's why we do not want to use heart rate training when training in high intensities, such as Zone 4, Zone 5, so on and so forth. So sometimes I get questions from athletes saying, Coach, I've been running for 10-15 minutes and I can't get my heart rate to go to Zone 2. We go back to that delayed response of our heart muscle to the physical activity. It takes a few minutes for your heart to respond to the physical activity. So it's completely normal to be running for 5 and 10 minutes and your heart rate is still low. We do want that. We don't want it to just go and have our heart rate as high as we can. If you're running in Zone 2, for example, for an hour, you do not want to be at the top of Zone 2 with 5 or 10 minutes into your workout, because at the end of that whole hour, you're going to be passing that threshold. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're running and you're checking your heart rate on your watch and your watch is showing this is an easy zone, this is a warm-up zone, and here is your aerobic zone, those zones are not correct. Those zones are made by the manufacturer. You need to make sure you know your own training zones, and there are a few ways to do that. Here in this video, we're going to talk about how to find your training zones through the lactate threshold method using the Joe Friel's formula. Third thing you need to know is you need to find your training zones. So how do you find your training zones? The easiest way is doing a 30 minutes field test where you have to run for 30 minutes as hard as you can. And then when you get to the 10 minutes into that run, you press the let button and then you check your average heart rate for the last 20 minutes of that run. What you're going to check in those 20 minutes is your average heart rate, and that should be approximately your lactate threshold heart rate. Another thing to keep in mind is you want to have a progressive approach to that field test. What happens sometimes is athletes will start off running too fast and they cannot maintain that intensity. We want to start strong, but and then build progressively all the way to the end of that 30 minutes run to have a more accurate average heart rate for those last 20 minutes. After doing your 30 minutes field test, you can use Joe Friel's formula to calculate your training zones. Zone 1 stands for less than 85% of your lactate threshold heart rate.
Zone 2, 85 to 89% of your lactate threshold heart rate. Zone 3 is 90 to 94% of your lactate threshold heart rate. Zone 4, 95% to 99%. Zone 5, 100% to 102%. Zone 5B, 103% to 106%.
And Zone 5C, more than 106%. And that's pretty much your max heart rate right here. At the end of this video, I'm going to leave in the comment section 2 articles that you can use to help you to set your training zones and how to find your maximum heart rate and your lactate threshold heart rate. I hope you guys liked this video. And one more thing. If you haven't tried yet, these are a non-alcoholic beer, the best non-alcoholic beer by far I've ever tried in my life from Athletic Brewery. If you guys want to check it out, check out for athleticbreweryco.com. Use code ETORBIS20 for 20% off on your first order. And again, if you did like this video, give a thumbs up, share with a friend, leave a comments below, and I see you next time. Bye.